Well, like technically I did start at around like 22, 23 when I interned at the comedy bar.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but then like, you know, like imposter syndrome and depression got the best of me, you know? But yeah, so like part of me thinks like, you know, shoulda, coulda, woulda, if I had kept at it, you know, maybe I'd be a little bit further along in my career, but I can't think that way.
Yeah.
You know,
It's hard. Like when you do that, you start to get in your head and you think like, well, it becomes a domino effect.
Yeah.
So you started stand up at around 24?
23.
23, 24. And this is, I'm assuming this is when the comedy bar was in a different location, right?
Yeah, it was still in the Loop area, but it was in River North, right down the street from where the Rock and Roll McDonald's was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where like when it was actually the Rock and Roll McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like over 10 years ago. So.
Oh, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So yeah.
What cliche? But what got you into it at 23? Why did you even get interested?
Because I just loved to watch it. Like I loved to watch stand up, and being a performer in general has just been in my blood all my life. Like I've always been the funny one. I've always been the, you know what I mean, the clown or whatever in friend groups. So I knew that I wanted an extracurricular, but I didn't want to do theater. Like I was still doubting myself as like an actor. So I was like, you know what? Let me get into the whole comedy thing and see what that's up with, you know?
So when you were in high school, I would have picked you as a theater kid in high school.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was a total theater kid.
Okay.
Well, in the first 2 years, I was in this weird limbo where like freshman year, I was like in the popular crowd, and I was on the dance squad and all that stuff. And then it all changed because my friends like cast me out because I was starting to get awkward. They told me, they were like, "You're awkward." And now I realize I was just becoming a theater nerd.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
was this high school?
Yeah.
So the process of from freshman year into senior year, at some point your friends were like, yeah, we're good at this point.
Yeah, they wanted nothing to do with me. I wasn't like on their level. And then I discovered theater, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, this is where I belong.
Yeah. There's a freedom in that space.
Right.
That's so interesting. So you were a part of the popular kids at first.
Oh my gosh, yes. I was so popular. 7th and 8th grade.
Yeah.
Best times of my life.
What do you think was going on in your headspace? Before you actually answer that, I heard there was a study, or maybe I saw it on TikTok or YouTube. So this is fucking pseudoscience, but there's this idea that the people that have a tendency to be popular, especially in youth, are less empathetic.
Oh yeah. Well, I think maybe that's why later on I started to get cast out by them, because inherently I was different in that sense. I had a ton of empathy. I was so sensitive, and I don't think that kind of just like meshed with them.
Yeah. Were they like a Mean Girls type of thing going on? Was that?
They were like a cynical kind of a group.
Oh yeah. Nothing really matters. Like we don't care. I don't care.
Yeah. And like the dudes that they liked, like all the popular dudes, were just like way too badass for me. Like I couldn't keep up with them, and like they were all getting into like harder drugs and drinking a lot, and like I'm not saying I'm a square, but back then I was like, ooh, I'm not into this.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So
okay. So do you remember, do you know, I mean, I assume not, do you know where any of those people are today?
I think yeah, one of them moved to California when they were freshmen, or when they were going to college. Like they knew what they wanted to do immediately. And then the others, I have no idea. I haven't talked to them since then.
Age.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Age is just aging. Speaking of age, I turned 33 yesterday.
Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Thank you. It's my Jesus birthday.
How? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
In retrospect, you know, when I was a kid, 33 seemed so old and mature. But now, as I'm also 33,
Really?
it doesn't, it's, maybe that's just our generation, but I don't feel like we're getting into what it should feel like to be an adult, if that makes sense.
Oh, no, I'm nowhere near
ready.
But you know what's funny? I've always wanted to be in my 30s. Like I've always been, I've always known.
It was a goal you would inevitably succeed in.
Yeah, like my mom was like thriving in her 30s and 40s, like physically, mentally. Like she was just like living her best life. So I always had that vision in my head for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm a late bloomer, so like the older I get, the better I get.
Same.
You know.
Did you feel like your 20s? How do you feel about your 20s now in retrospect?
Oh, I hated them.
Why?
Because I was just so unsure of myself. And like that's why the whole comedy thing, you know, I started doing comedy in my 20s, but then I just had such fears and imposter syndrome that I wasn't good enough. So I like gave it. I was like, you know what? I can settle for something else. This isn't who I was born to be. I can just like do something else, you know? But then I was grappling between those two desires of like wanting to settle into something more stable, but also pursuing dreams. And it made me so unsure of myself throughout my entire 20s.
At what point did it click where you were like, yeah, I'm doing this?
Well, probably the post-pandemic, because it's when I started doing. It's when I started TikToking. You know, more. Everybody had more time in on their hands,
Sure
right?
did.
So I started, you know, doing the TikToks and playing around with characters more, and that's when and then, you know, because of the state of the world, I was like, you know what, fuck it. This is who I'm meant to be. Like this, I'm not going to settle for anything. Why would I settle? You know.
I have that same feeling. I was already doing stand-up, but it was moving to Chicago. I don't know if you knew that I'm from California.
Yeah. I actually did.
Yeah, hey,
I learned that about you when you first started coming to the open mic.
Oh, cool. Yeah. From California. And Chicago, this like fuck it mindset of moving to Chicago would have never happened without quarantine.
Yeah.
And I'm curious for you, like, let's say if it wasn't for quarantine, do you think you'd be doing stand-up right now?
That's such a good question. I would like to say yes. I think eventually, yes, I would have circled back into stand-up because it's where my roots were, you know? Well, my roots are also in improv too, because I think it was either before or during the Comedy Bar. I was also studying at the Second City doing improv. So, but I knew that stand-up was the most inspiring form of comedy.
Why?
And stage performance for me.
What is it about stand-up that was more inspiring than improv or acting?
Or theater. Well, because you have the challenge of actually writing. Like if you're a stand-up, you are writing all of your material. So that really got me, you know, into that, is that it's your own material that you have to work with. And like, this may sound kind of selfish, but like, you get more stage time. When I was doing improv and then I got back into stand-up, I was like, wait, why did I ever share the stage with 7 other people? It's very selfish to think, but
yeah, no, I hear you. It's a higher risk, higher reward.
Yeah.
But the risk of bombing with 7 people is not like bombing alone.
Yeah, right. And you know what's funny? I mean, I've definitely bombed before, but I've never felt like it was a bomb because I was having fun on stage.
Interesting.
Because I knew the word. I knew the things that I was saying were. They may not have been hilarious or laugh out loud funny, but I think that they were good points.
Yeah. If nothing else, we made some good points.
We made some good points.
You don't have like a do you have this will be interesting. Do you have a worst bomb story? You don't feel like you've experienced like a oh my god?
No, I haven't.
Oh, good for you.
I haven't, but also knock on wood, man.
Yeah. Oh, I have some moments.
You've got some moments. Well, you know what? I don't think I've taken that much of a risk, and that's not something that I want to have in the habit. I need to take more risks. I need to go to more open mics. You know, I've been in my own take a shot bubble for a long time, you know, I'm so comfortable there that's probably why I don't bomb, because it's my space. I'm sure that if I went to more open mics, I would have those experiences.
Do you mind if I ask you what your weekly comedy schedule looks like roughly?
It's take a shot.
Okay.
And then maybe like a day or two of like reaching out to people and submitting. Yeah. Maybe a show or two else, but
hitting that grind part.
But hitting the grind, I don't do.
Now, can I ask before I get into can I ask why is that a fear thing? Is that a
Oh yeah, it's a fear thing. It's also me being a person that has had depression since she was 15. You know, like I just don't do well with schedules and routines and putting things into action. I'm so bad with that.
I hear you. I'm going to make a guess when you say depression and in relation to this is the feeling of like I'm depressed and it almost feels like I don't even want to get up. I don't have the energy
dude.
to. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be totally transparent. I have a very big problem sleeping. Like some people with depression, their symptoms are insomnia, but others are like the total opposite, where you sleep over excessive sleeping.
And you're the over excessive.
I'm over excessive. I sleep. I don't. And then it's like this fear of getting out of bed is like the fear of exiting out of your comfort zone. It's none of it. It's rational. It's just this cloud that you just can't clear. You can't get rid of it.
So on the few times where you have been able to, what was going on in your head that made you get up and say, fuck it, I'm going to do a thing?
A lot of it is opportunity.
Okay.
Like, for example, today, I knew that I was doing the podcast with you, and then I got asked to guest host the mic tonight, Out by 10. And it's because I knew that I was already going to be out doing the podcast with you, that I was like, you know what, since I'm already going to be out, then I'll do it. But let's say I was already home and had no obligations, I probably would have said no. So it's all about like opportunity. If there's an opportunity for me to get out of my shell, then I'll extend that time where I'm out of my shell. But without an opportunity, I don't take action.
That's very interesting. I think we are, I believe in the yin yang of people and interactions. And I feel okay, sorry, the cat wants to be in the hallway, but he's the king.
He's lurking like the creature he is.
We're going to pivot real quick to cats, and then we'll come back. How long have you had your cat?
Oh my God, let's talk about cats.
You have an orange cat.
I have an orange cat. His name is Dunk, short for Dunkachino. Do you want to know the origin of that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well, you know Jack and Jill, that movie?
Yes, I sure do.
Sandler. Okay, so Al Pacino lost a bet to Adam Sandler, and he had to be in that movie.
Is that why he's in that movie?
That's why he's in that movie.
Because I was like, what the fuck is this award-winning actor doing here? Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so my husband and I watched that clip of Al Pacino doing Dunkachino, and we knew that it had to be this cat's name. But we've had him for a little over 6 months. We got him over the summer.
Nice.
And he's the best.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
Are you you're more of a cat than a dog person?
No, I'm a dog person. Oh. If I had to choose, I would have chose a dog, but our apartment complex only allows cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a cat, is this your first cat?
It's our first cat.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's our first pet. I'm in love with him. Yeah. He's so cool.
Cats are cool. Like I've had dogs and I've had cats in my day. And I think the pro of a cat is less maintenance. They're doing their thing.
Yeah.
You know? That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, he's over here being a cat. Anyway,
but specifically orange cats.
Yeah, can we break that down? Why orange cats specifically?
I don't know. I've just had more positive experiences with orange cats, but I think people that are more like avid cat studiers and have been around more cats, I think they would say that orange cats are assholes.
Interesting.
Or like no, not assholes, stupid.
Yeah.
But my orange cat is not stupid.
Yeah.
He's not. He's sassy.
Creature is also he's there. You know, he's got some.
He's
brain
with
cells.
it.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Did you say brain sauce?
He's got some brain cells. I'm gonna switch it to sauce now. I like that brain sauce. I like that.
Highly flavored brain sauce.
But comedy and the yin yang, yes.
The yin and yang, yeah.
I'm kind of the opposite. I'm antsy and I need to do a thing. If I don't do the thing, I'm gonna fucking hate myself, and I'm gonna get angry, and then that turns into a whole thing.
That's why anxiety and depression are like, sisters.
Oh, so you would be considered, based off of symptoms here, you'd be considered depressed, I'd be considered anxious.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. But they're all from the same family tree of mental illness.
That's interesting because another little thing about me that I'm working on is not giving unsolicited advice or telling people what to do. I used to, yes.
Did you used to do that a lot?
I'm still struggling with it now.
Really?
I've come to realize it's how I show that I care.
Yes.
Telling people what to do and believing I'm right about it is how I express, like, I care about you, so do everything I say.
Yes.
And it's,
Have people mistaken that for, like, condescension or being patronized?
all the time.
Really?
All the time. There's
my
people
God.
there's people that fucking hate me because of that. Yeah.
Oh.
Which is fine, because they're right on some level. It is pretentious of me to. It would be pretentious of me to say, "Well, Lexi, just get up and go." Obviously, you just get up and go do the thing. Just go to the South Side if you want to step out of your comfort zone. It would be ridiculous because we're not living the same experiences.
Yeah.
And I have trouble with that.
Yeah. But see, I don't think I would ever find it condescending or patronizing if someone told me that to, like, just simply get up, because I already have that thought in my head too. Like, there's an anxious part of me that's also challenging my depressive side and is saying, like, Lex, come on, just get up. You know that when you get up, it's not going to be that bad. You know that when you leave the house and go do that thing that you've been wanting to do, you're going to have an okay time. But then the depressive side of me, it's like the whole devil angel thing on the shoulder, except it's anxiety and depression.
Can I ask what naturally motivates you? What happens when you're like, oh shit, I want to do, like,
oh God,
something that inspires you to do a thing?
I can't. I wish it were that easy.
Interesting. Okay.
It's not that easy. I wish I could just, like, you know what? Let me just YouTube a clip of my favorite of, like, Maya Rudolph just, like, doing her thing, and that's going to inspire me to just leave the house and live my dreams. I wish I had remedies like that.
Yeah.
But it's not that easy for my brain.
Interesting.
Oh my God. It takes a lot to get out of that hole. One thing I will say helps is weed.
Okay. You want some?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, I got you. We can keep talking.
Oh, do we? Oh, have you done that on the podcast before? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, the Kyrie, Kyrie the comic. Do you know Kyrie?
You mean Kyron?
No, Kyrie. I'll show you a picture.
Yeah, I don't know if I've met
Actually,
Kyrie.
he's in here. Let me find him. The first half of him.
Oh,
the first half of his whole episode is him literally rolling a blunt. So
oh, okay.
I have a one hitter I got for you. Hold on a second.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Let's see. Have you ever used a dugout before?
That is so. Oh my God, yeah, I used to have a dugout.
Perfect.
Actually, there was a dude that I was dating, and he left his dugout at my place, and he would ghost me and just, like, be a total fuckboy. And one time he left his dugout at my place, and he was like, hey, I think I left my dugout at your place. And instead of me falling for it and being like, oh, well, you can come over, and then he would be a fuckboy again. Instead, I was like, oh, okay. And I put the ball in his court, and of course he's a fuckboy, so he didn't do anything about it. He goes, okay, and I go, okay, and it was mine.
Did you used to have as an ex fuckboy myself? Did you, I was like artsy fuckboy.
Oh my God, you would have broke my heart.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You would have broke my heart. That's okay. That's okay, man.
I'm older and wiser now.
Right, exactly. Battle scars, man. Battle scars. They've made me stronger.
Dumb decisions. I'm surprised that weed would make you. For me, it completely strips me of motivation in a lot of ways.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny, and how fickle weed can be. How it depends on the person, on how varied the symptoms are. But yeah, weed honestly gives me the motivation to get creative. And when I'm in the creative mode, that's what makes me want to go. Like if I come up with a new joke, I get excited to go to an open mic. I'm like, oh wait, okay, all right. Now there it is.
Can I show you? So, just to show how different we are as people.
Yes.
Do you know who David Goggins is?
No.
Okay.
Love that last name.
I can promise you that this will not be motivating to you.
Okay.
But for me, I have two different modes of motivation.
Sure.
There is what I'm about to show you, and that's less creative, and it's more get up, exercise, get up, do shit, get your work done. And then the creative motivation comes from watching people who do shit that I admire. For example, Kendrick Lamar and his halftime performance.
Oh my God, yes.
Incredibly inspiring to me.
Oh.
So I'm curious if you tried to get motivated with something like this, would it even work?
So I got an email the other day. This guy's talking about he's struggling to get up. Wants to go to the gym and start grinding early in the morning. I said, when I was 24, I had the same condition, man. I had the same problem. So I started studying it. The more I studied it, I came with this crazy conclusion. I was just being a bitch.
Like, that's I when I'm like, I need to go boxing, I need to go jujitsu, I need to work out, I play this guy. Stop being a bitch. Just fucking do it. I'm like, all right, I guess I should do it. And that's it. Actually works for me. I'd imagine for you, it's like, please stop yelling, sir.
No, it's not even that. Can I tell you what happens?
What happens?
Okay, it's literally this full circle, and it just keeps going round and round and round and round and round, where I'm like, oh my God, I can't get up. And then I see something like that, and I'm like, I know I'm being a bitch. I am, and that's the problem. And I'm just so effed up. Oh my God, I'm such a bitch. I can't even get up. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just get up? Yes, I'm being a bitch. That's round and round and round it goes, where it turns into this like I'm realist, but yet I'm self-pitying, yet I'm wallowing, yet I'm self-aware. Oh my God, it's
very complex.
It's so complex, and then it ends up just going round and round in my head, and then 4 hours later, when I'm done with the cycle of these thoughts, I'm still in bed.
Do you
and I'm exhausted, and I'm done for the day.
Do you want to make a living at, like, do you in your goal of this comedy stuff, is the goal to be a professional comedian? Where is your goal line with this?
See, that's the other problem too.
Okay.
Aaron, that's the other problem, is that, like, if I really wanted to do this, then wouldn't I be doing this every second of every day? You know, wouldn't I be trying harder? Wouldn't I be taking more action? Wouldn't I be? So then I start to doubt, is this really what I want to do? But then I go, what else do I want to do? Nothing.
Interesting.
I don't want to do anything else besides what I feel like I've been born to do. So then I think deeper into it. I'm like, okay, I know I want to perform, but do I want to perform do I want to grind to the point where I'm on tour or full time being a stand-up comedian, like I know so many people are, and they've worked so hard at. But then I don't just love stand-up. I love being a character actor, and it would make me like. So then I'm like, dude, I want to be the fucking next Carol Burnett. I want to be the fucking. Then I have these dreams and these goals. Of like, my goal would be to, play like a villain on Broadway. Like, I wanted to be on SNL for a while. Like, that was my goal. I don't know. I'm all over the place with it, and that's part of the problem.
Can I try to put this in my own words?
Yeah, please.
It sounds like you have a lot of creative energy, but you struggle with focusing it as well as sustaining the motivation to follow through on it. With that, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know how to muster up what's the opposite of apathy? Passion?
Oh, that's interesting. The
Right?
opposite of apathy, the antithesis to apathy. Apathy is just not caring at all.
Because that's what it's been lately.
I would say passion.
Right?
Yeah.
And yet I feel that I have the passion when I look at a good performance, when I surround myself with great comedians. I feel that the passion is there. But then when it comes to action, the apathy sets in, and I go, there's no point of me doing this.
Did you ever play sports?
Yeah.
What did you play?
Well, even though dancing maybe not technically be a sport, I did grow up being an athlete. I was a dancer. That was my first dream, was to be a Broadway choreographer. I fucking loved being a dancer. Yeah. But then I also did softball, basketball.
Okay. And
for a while.
In those situations, how did you muster? Because that's you might have to repack, and it's like a one hitter for a reason. It does one time and it's pretty much done.
Not with me.
Oh, okay, cool. Very, very, very.
I know when this is done. Trust me. It's when you go like this. and it all just falls out at once.
You're,
That's when you know
you're
it's
a
done.
professional.
I am a professional because that means if it's not going out, that means there's still
something
sticky
in
weed
there.
there.
Okay.
I've been a stoner since 8th grade. Like,
Shit, really?
yes.
Damn. Wait, from in Illinois?
Yeah.
How did you get weed back then?
I was friends with
The cool kids.
with the cool kids.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, the first time I smoked weed was out of a Pepsi can in 8th grade.
Oh, you were far more daring than I.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like
That's
part of the
badass.
cool kids. Yeah.
Glad you got out of that because it seems like it was going to take you down a not
I
good
know.
road.
I know.
The motivation and stuff. So I guess to me, it's a matter of hacking your brain. So like during those times when you do feel motivated, it eventually goes away. And I guess I would ask, is there a way to hack your brain to make it feel that experience as whenever you need to feel that experience? Is that even possible?
That's what I'm actually trying to explore right now.
Okay.
It's funny you say that because, for a while I was on Adderall and the Adderall took care of my depression.
Okay.
For a long time. Because it made me able to do things easily without all the depressive thoughts weighing me down. So when
I'll
what are you doing? What is this?
It's a fume. You seen fume?
No, what is it?
It sounds so fucking goofy. It's flavored air.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm? Yeah. So
instead of like a vape, it's your sort of oral fixation to that.
Yeah, and it's a nice little fidgety thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Your fume.
My fume.
Keep smoking your fume, man.
It's been it's not even like nothing. That's the one thing I don't like about it is that you can do it all you want and nothing is gonna come out. Yeah.
I've seen products though that do have vapor.
Yeah, but I think the vapor is part of what the unhealthy part is.
Really? There's no
think
safe way to
smoke. No,
vape? Is there really no solution, man?
I think the solution is just accept it. I've become accustomed to it. You know, like I accept that it's not going to do that, and it gives me what it needs to give me.
The solution is to accept it.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe that's what I need to do with my depression.
Yeah.
Without the remedy. But like, okay, so I was on Adderall for a while, right?
Yes.
And then when I was around 25, 26, I was like, you know what? I've been on it since I was in 5th grade. Let's wean myself off. And it probably wasn't, I didn't wean myself off. I quit cold turkey because I ran out and I decided not to go back to the doctor. And that was probably like not the wisest choice in hindsight, but I am glad I did it because I was able to grow a lot more as a human and be more comfortable with myself naturally before going back on any medication. But I've been recently thinking, well, maybe I should go back on Adderall. But then I look at the healthcare system and what it takes to actually get an Adderall prescription now. And I was like, you know what? Let me look up all these holistic remedies. You see them on Instagram ads, Magic Mind, mud water, all this stuff.
I haven't heard of mud water.
Mud water. It's all the rage with how mushrooms and cordyceps can increase your brain health and your focus. So I was like, okay, instead of paying $80 for a subscription to these things, what if you did a research on what the compound ingredients are and then do a more holistic approach and get your own supplements that way? Take for instance lion's mane. Instead of buying like gummies or a product that has lion's mane, I will directly get lion's mane and find my own dosage that way. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's you're instead of going we'll say clinical route, you're going in more not experimental, but
it's not experimental, but it's just that like the system is fucking us over.
Sure is.
So I might as well just like try to do my own research and get what I need in my own way on my own terms and try to find my own solution. As opposed to adhering what I've been diagnosed with. It sounds very hippy dippy, but in a more it's in a more real way, in my opinion.
Has it been working?
I just started.
Okay. I guess keep me updated.
Started.
Yeah.
I just started because again, as I'm becoming older, I think I'm becoming more okay with myself.
Yeah.
And I think that means that my mental health is getting a little better with how much I'm learning and being more self-aware. And so I'm taking action and baby steps, step by step, especially now that I'm married. Like that really did change stuff. Like, I want to make sure that I am a good partner to my partner, and that means taking care of myself. So
I have a few things I've written. So the first thing,
that's a motivator for sure.
writing things.
Marriage.
Oh, yeah. Let's start at marriage.
Well, no, I want to go.
You want to know the first thing, and then we'll get to marriage.
Yeah.
Well, the first, to add to me potentially coming off as not condescending. It was not pretentious.
Patronizing.
Patronizing. Part of it is anger.
Yeah.
I'm a fairly angry person.
Yeah.
I don't know if it comes off. Apparently people don't perceive me as very angry.
Well, I know I'm very close with angry people who are also very calm and understanding. Like I've seen firsthand the dichotomy of people who are calm yet rageful.
Yeah, it's like
So I'm not saying I'm surprised.
Yeah.
But I'm also not saying like I would assume that about you.
Right.
Yeah.
This calm is over many years of realizing like I just need to have a consistent sense of calm. And then when it's not calm anymore, it's not calm anymore.
Yeah, I feel you.
That, okay, I don't want to get too off the rails, but that, you saw the drama?
Yes. I have my own experiences with him too.
Oh.
We can get to that later.
Okay, I'll write this down. I got to play you some audio. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll read you some
of his
words.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll get there. So, and it's by the way, I don't usually say names of people. If there's an issue, I'll write it down or whatever. I could give a fuck about this person.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
That's how much I'm very much like
drag him.
Yeah. I really don't like this person.
Okay.
But that anger. It's funny when you describe what you struggle with. My knee-jerk reaction is anger. Like it is it's so hard to describe, but like it is anger, and it's not fair to you because it's your life. It's your life. It's me projecting my own thing, and I think that's the other thing that I run into that I struggle with is when someone is doing something that triggers my own fears in myself, I get mad at them, which is not good. It's how I'm glad I do this podcast because I've gotten to know people on a very human level.
Yeah.
Because my initial assumptions of most people is negative. Like internally, damn near everyone I've met in Chicago, when I meet them at first, there's a lot of negativity swirling around, and then the time goes by and I massage it out, and it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not good.
Well, I get paranoid about telling people that I've suffered from depression because there are people out there who are like, depression is for lazy people. Depression is for privileged people. I know people who didn't have time to be depressed, including my own family members. Like my father and my grandfather don't understand depression or can't really empathize with it, even though they've had slight experiences of their own. But they are like, when we were growing up, or like, we don't got time. We don't have time to be depressed, like we have to work. We have to take care of things. So I understand where people can come from. And I'm not saying that that's where your anger would stem from. I'm not assuming that, but I am saying that I do understand why anger would be an emotion.
Yeah. And it's just projection. That's what it is.
Right.
Because that's something else I'm learning is that is in terms of getting older, being in your 30s, you kind of don't have the time or energy to worry about other people anymore as you get older. And it's just like, what do I need to... Being mad at Lexi because she's not getting out of bed has nothing to do with me. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
Right.
But marriage, recently?
2 years in January.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How long were you together before getting married?
4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what has changed post-marriage?
my desire to get better with myself and take better care of myself.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we're sharing our lives together, and I want to make sure that I pull through for him as he does for me. And we both have our issues, you know. It's a two-way street. I understand that. I'm not perfect, he's not perfect, but I'm just saying in my own personal experience, I want to do more things with him. I'm not very active. I don't like to exercise a lot. That's also part of the depression. Like, I gained fucking 100 pounds from depression.
Damn.
Yeah. It fucking sucked, dude. It was fucking sucked.
Is it a food thing or is it an exercise thing?
But it's both.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, I used to be a dancer. So once I stopped dancing, I lost a lot of motivation to be active. And dancing, getting back into dancing now is something I know will help me. But oh man, is it a trigger for me?
I can imagine.
So there's that. And he's active. He loves to go to the gym. I hate going to the gym. And, you know, sometimes he'll be like, let's go for a walk. And I'll be like, I don't want to. You know, and like it's little things like that where if you're in a marriage or if you're in a long-term relationship, that would eat away at me over time and be like, my husband doesn't even want to go on a walk with me.
Is your husband a bigger guy, or is he in shape, or is he?
Well, he is a bigger guy. He's 6'6". He's 6'6".
Oh, he big. Oh, he big.
He's really big. I'm surprised you never met him at the mic.
I might. Okay, so
you might have met him once or twice.
Probably. I'll do that. I'm gonna. You know when you do a podcast or whatever, and you say the same shit over and over, so whoever listens hears it. So I'm gonna get this out of the way real quick, guys. You already know what I'm about to say. I have a memory issue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard my joke about the sucker punch joke.
No.
Very long story short.
Sure.
Back in California, dude, I guess was upset at my jokes. I don't know, and then snuck up behind me. Never saw his face, and he hit me in the head.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So unconscious. It was a whole thing. And luckily, I had a friend there because he was going to try to kill me, from what I gather.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's not okay, but it is what it is.
Of all the fucking comics who say stupid shit and get away with it without getting sucker punched and having memory issues for the rest of their life,
yeah,
and they're not even funny. See, you talk about anger, that pisses me off.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating.
Anyway,
so what ends up happening is, you know, we're in a comedy scene that requires you to be social and remember people, and then I don't remember people, and then I can tell that they're like offended, and it's hard to be like, okay, let me sit you down real quick and tell you about a traumatic story to give you some content, and you know, even in this podcast, I have said this, and that's what I've said this a million of times, and it is what it is. Now the way I navigate the world is through my gut almost, like I have to go through intuition, and I'm working on different approaches to memory. One of the things I realized that I do is I like to give nicknames because it helps me remember people's names. I'm coming to realize I do that naturally. I didn't know I was doing that to do that, but something. So if I saw him enough times, or if something weird or crazy enough happened, it would get in there. Sure. Just the repetition or something very specific would need to happen, and then I would remember who he is.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So eventually I'll get there.
Yeah. He's so he's a big guy. He's 6'6", and you know, we both struggle with weight, but overall he's a very active person. Goes to the gym all the time because he likes it. That's his vessel. That's his form of getting the rage out, getting shit out, getting the stress out, and I don't do that. I turn to darkness.
It's funny. It reminds. So you know Ron Hexagon.
I love Ron Hexagon.
So he's here, and
I know his smile.
We are now accountability buddies. So if you want to join our accountability buddy group, you can. It's on eating stuff. Him eating in general, and it's mostly excess. And for me, it's specifically like candy. Yeah. And so every now and again, we did it today actually. Let me see if I can find what he sent me. We'll send each other just like what we ate, or like, yeah, here's some grapes, bro. I ate some grapes.
Look at those grapes.
Yeah, like shit like this.
Oh, gorgeous.
So
I love your blurry photo of oranges.
I was like, oh shit, I forgot to show Ron. He needed to see this.
It's here. Don't worry.
Yeah, please tell me you're proud of me. If you want, it's whatever you're comfortable with. If you want, we can make a little accountability buddy group if you feel comfortable.
Well, here's the thing. I like that action. Just simply take a picture of what you're eating.
Yeah.
That I can do.
Okay.
That I can do.
I'm sure he'll be like, yeah, bring around a.
Yeah.
So after this, I'll make a group message, the accountability buddy group.
Okay. We should also invite Ethan Sandoval too.
I know that name. Let me find it. Is he? Can I ask a question that's going to be a little more blunt?
Please.
In terms of talking about Ethan Sandoval. Okay. This dude.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna let you, because I don't know this person, and I don't want to be like, hey, buddy.
No, I'm gonna reach out to him.
Okay, cool. So your weight. No, that's been a tough thing for me to talk about in these contexts, because it's not something I've ever struggled with. We can talk about race all day, and I can suck on your white guilt, but I can't.
We can do that.
I can't. Yeah, well, I'm good. We can't. I can't fully. It's one of those things where I can't fully relate, and I don't feel. Yeah, but I don't know how to approach the subject matter in a way that is tactful but also authentic to me, because I'm not the most tactful person.
Yeah. Well, and that's why it's not really so much about weight as it is about health.
Yeah,
I don't have.
Like that. Yeah.
I don't have a healthy relationship with food. So it's like, I know plenty of people who, are my size.
Yeah.
And they can run a marathon and are super flexible.
Right.
I used to be able to do that. Now I can't, because I stopped taking care of myself. And weight gain was a symptom of that.
I really like the way you worded that. It's not about weight. It's about health.
It's about health.
And, did you know, so we'll get into it. Get ready. Did you know Ken Flores?
I didn't know him, but of course I had seen his comedy.
Yeah.
And of course I know plenty of people who were close to him.
It is, it concerns me. The same when I was talking to Ron. I'm like, man, we're not all going to live forever, but I want you to be around.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Well, I don't know what his death related.
It's a mixture of things. It's a mixture of things, and we'll say that his relation to food and health was not helping.
Right.
I will say.
Well, that's so many reasons why young people die.
Yeah.
He was younger than me, I'm pretty sure.
He was 26?
26,
I believe. And it's like,
yeah.
There's oh,
I mean, that's what John Belushi, Chris Farley. I mean, that's why the greats die young.
Tale as old as time.
That's why fucking Elvis Presley died in 42 because all he ate was fucking fried peanut butter jelly. Yeah. Not even the jelly. He didn't even have the fruit preserves. He didn't even want the fruit preserves. He just said, give me fried peanut butter, bacon sandwiches.
Now,
so I get it.
To go, I mean, maybe this can kind of go full circle. Going back to marriage, if I'm to put it in my own words, by being married to this man, it is one thing that you have to live for, something to live for.
Yeah, yeah.
And
to put it romantically, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's one, very selfless on your end, because you seem to feel a responsibility to this man to be around because you are connected to him.
Yeah.
And that is a selfless thing, because you could just be alone and fucking just be alone and do whatever. But you have decided, like, you have the energy, at least enough energy to say, I'm going to do my best for you because we're committed. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And like that didn't really change with like a marriage certificate. It changed with the decision in my mind and in my heart to be fully encompassed.
Yeah.
And share this life with this person.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily like, the action of getting married that led me to this decision. It's because I knew that I wanted to be with him for the rest of my life. That's what came with.
That is, it's.
You know what I mean? Like, like let's say we never got married. Like that feeling would never go away.
Right.
My life partner, I want to be there for.
The marriage is just a symbol of what the actual feeling is.
Right, exactly.
That is something I am still trying to find, and it is very we can get into my relationship dynamic if you want. I'll leave that up to you. But after, in fact, we'll get into it, and then we'll transition to homeboy and messages.
Sure.
Whew. So the dynamic that I look for in a long-term relationship, everything good?
Yeah.
Okay.
You send messages. I'm going to make sure I still have them.
Oh, yeah. You're bringing your shit up. Let me bring my shit up, too.
I got to bring up receipts.
So...
I shouldn't be doing this, but whatever. Fuck it.
In relationships, the relationship dynamic that I want is a closed throuple. Does that make sense? Oh, you're focused.
Wait, no, I got it. A closed throuple?
Yes. The polyamory. I know it's a big fun buzzword these days. But three people, one relationship. Mm-hmm. So similar to just a regular marriage, but 3 people. That's what works for me, and that is hard to find. So
is it? Even today? I feel like I know so many people. So many poly people in the queer community. Well, I'm friends with a lot of drag performers. I'm friends with a lot of like queer people in that community.
What I can tell you, what's difficult for me, is I don't want we'll say 2 people, just a traditional relationship. But I don't want this fucking kitchen table, everybody, hey, this is my buddy, this is my second, this is my third. Well, that person's over across the country and we did. It's like, no, I want 3 fucking people locked in with each other. And it comes from this sense of a desire of community. I think community is important.
I think that's beautiful.
Thank you. Most people are not as nice about it.
Really?
Yeah, they think I'm like trying to be a fucking pimp or some shit.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, well.
You're not pimping those hoes.
I don't know why that shit sounded so wholesome, but
because it was. It came from the depths of my heart. The fact that you just want to be in a relationship with one more person. Okay, if you said 16, then I'd be like, okay, sister wives, anyone?
I know, right?
But no, dude, I'm sorry that people shame me for that. Even today, that's fucking lame. People are so boring. People are so small-minded. It's so boring. I'm like, oh my god, over it.
And the frustrating part about it is in the poly community. Generally speaking, if you're meeting someone that's poly, they're probably like, they don't want it to be closed. That's the problem I run into. I'm in this weird liminal space between a traditional relationship and a polyamorous relationship, because most of the people in that community just don't, they seem to view it as stifling. Yeah. And I just don't view it that way. To me, it is commitment, it is support, it is trust, it is unifying.
I love that.
Yeah, so there you go.
I think you'll get it.
One day.
You will.
Manifest.
Honestly, you will.
Thank you.
If your heart is pure enough to want it, it'll be there.
Thank you. Would you like to go first, or do you want me to go first? And we can give some context for this.
We can give some context for this.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't be doing this, but
I don't want to get you in trouble. If you don't.
It's not that you'd be getting me in trouble. It's that I don't want to be gossipy and messy.
Yes, I hear you. Here's what I'll do.
But you mentioned him, and this is the second time that he's been in my radar this week. So
I'm going to take out his name.
Well, you already said it. Oh, okay. All right.
I can edit. We know who we're talking about.
I know, right? Okay.
I'm going to take out his name because, one, I don't want to give him personally any more attention.
Clout, exactly. Ooh,
and
I
do feel I agree about gossip. My podcast is not the gossip podcast.
Right, exactly. I'm not here to talk shit.
Yeah, but this is a part of
this is a very special case.
Yes, and it's a part of the Chicago. Everybody knows
absolutely,
about this.
Absolutely.
So let's give a little bit of context. What context do you have, and I'll give you my context. And we'll just say this person or whatever.
Sure. Right, because he's not even a comic. Oh wait, should I not even say he? Should
Yeah, I
just do
don't.
they?
I mean, no, he is fine.
Okay.
I don't know. There's not
I
many
can't
ladies
even,
doing this
He
shit,
doesn't
so.
even deserve to be called a comic.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this person. Yeah, like
Yeah. This person.
this person. So this person frequented my mic. Take a shot, open mic.
Oh, so you've seen him? You've actually met this person?
Oh yeah. Oh.
I've never seen him.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He went to my mic twice.
Yeah.
Both times, severely unfunny jokes about domestic violence.
Before you keep going, hold on.
First experience with this person, they frequented my mic twice, and both times their set was like severely unfunny about domestic violence. So that was my first encounter with him, my first impression. Do you want me to keep going? What was your first encounter?
So I've never met him. I didn't know who he was. All I heard was I think I heard. I'm not gonna say my friend's name because he doesn't want to be. I know he's not gonna want to have his name said. But my buddy was like, "Bob's in more drama."
I know.
I was like, "Oh, who's Bob getting into it with this time?" So I saw the messages and I was like, "Oh, Bob's not in the wrong at all for once."
No, he's not.
And I saw it. I was like, this is crazy. And then this guy, jumped in the DMs of a friend of mine and was threatening him with violence. That was my first step into whatever the fuck was going on. Then I basically said, from what that I have a fight club. Did you know that?
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. I have a Chicago comedian fight club. There are comedians. We come together on Saturdays and Sundays and fight.
Are there any women involved?
No, but women are invited.
Dude, I've been wait, can I sit really off the rails really quick? Lately, I've been wanting to get like punched.
Okay.
And slapped.
Okay.
And bleed.
Okay. All right.
Is that weird?
No.
But like, I've never been in a fight, and I kind of just want to get I need to get like some sense knocked into me.
I can tell you that I know you've heard some of this fighting material of mine, the jiu-jitsu and the boxing and shit. Yeah. That has been, dude, fuck dancing. Go fight. No offense to dancing.
I was in kickboxing for a little bit.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. It's this feeling, it is the most present you will ever feel. Like, to say if I'm anxious and you're depressed, to me that is, an anxious person is anxious because they're too far thinking about the future, and a depressed person is too far about the past. And being present is that middle part. And being in a fight, when someone is about to hit you, you can't think about anything else but this moment. It brings you right there. So if you want, we'll talk at the end of all of this, and you can join Fight Club and come on up.
I don't know if I'm like ready to fight a dude, but that's why I asked if there were women, because I would get in a fight with a girl.
No, so that's another thing about it. I know Fight Club sounds scary. We're not actually.
It doesn't sound scary.
Oh, good. Well, to other people,
my first reaction was,
that's fair.
Cool.
It sounds like we're just in here beating the shit out of each other. It is sparring. It is.
Well, and if anyone's seen the movie, we know it's not just about fighting.
Yes, Project Mayhem.
Exactly.
But the space, the way we approach it is, if you're dealing with someone that's better than you, they turn it down a little bit, and vice versa.
Sure,
This is safe.
It's like a symbiotic connection, a physical connection with a person that is like so respectful, and but also like you have to find the boundaries within yourself and within each other. It's very cool.
Yeah, I'll give you all the info. You're welcome to join. We also
or watch. Can I just watch?
Yeah, come in, watch,
and get some like pointers.
Absolutely.
Cool. That is so funny.
And
okay.
The gym I have, they teach jiu-jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, and Muay Thai.
Cool. Where do you go?
Hybrid martial arts.
Is it in Albany Park?
It's in Irving Park, like right down the street. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we'll get you the info for it. We need more people that are going to follow through and about it. And please bring the women, bring the ladies.
Okay. All right. I'll reach out.
So he's going off about fighting and beating up Bob. And I'm like, oh, well, this guy is perfect for Fight Club. If he's I don't know this guy. So I'm like, he's a comedian and he wants to fight so goddamn bad.
Right.
This is the place for it.
Yeah.
So I think I made a comment, and don't get me wrong, I was being an asshole because of this whole situation. But I was genuinely like, if you want to If you want to fight, there is a literal place for that. And so I put him in the group message. He fuck you. I'm going to fuck all of you guys up. I'm going to break your jaw, bro. That was a big one. He loved saying that. I'm going to break your jaw. And he, crazy shit. He's, by the way, he's Pakistani, for context, dropping all kinds of niggas and homophobic slurs, all types of shit. And my thing was, and in the message, I'm like, okay, next week, literally this Saturday, I gave him the address, gave him the time. It's $20 to get in. We have all the equipment. You're going to be able to fight to your little heart's content. Yeah, man, fuck you, bro, right now in the streets, dude, all that shit. And it's like, come on, stop. We are giving you a space to do that. Follow through.
Yes.
Just follow through. Now, do you want to read yours or do you want me to play mine first?
We can end with yours.
Okay.
Because that's really intense. Well, okay, so he frequented my mic. Second time that he was there, another comic told me that they were SA'd by this person.
Okay.
So, naturally, as a host, it's my responsibility to keep the mic as safe as possible. And that was not the only account that I had heard about him towards women. So, I emailed him. It was very simple. There have been several complaints about your behavior towards multiple comics. As the show's host, I cannot in good conscience continue to have your presence at the Take a Shot open mic. They responded with, sorry, did I do something wrong at your open mic? I understand there's been some rumors about me floating around, which I'm not fully aware of. But I can't imagine that I've done anything to be banned from Take a Shot. Where is this coming from? I responded, there have been multiple people who have voiced their concern about your behavior towards female comics. They are uncomfortable. As the mic's host, it's my responsibility to make sure everyone feels that they are in a safe space.
Oh, shit.
And then, yeah.
You can't see it. Oh, my God.
And then there's just like...
You want to read
paragraph
some of that?
on paragraph. As if I'm talking to some like crazed former psycho roommate that, you know.
Yeah. You want to give the snippets?
Yeah, I'll give snippets. Well, so first of all, this first one was very eloquent and seemed to be more on the patient side.
Okay.
I don't want to be judged by any secondhand information or rumors.
Okay.
I don't want to continue being prevented from performing. Continue being prevented. So this meaning that this wasn't the only place that they had been banned from. Mm-hmm. That was a one-off instance, and I don't even remember doing it. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He's outing himself by saying that there have been instances.
Some dry snitching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you can reconsider. I'm sure you've had at least one bad night in your life.
Okay.
I don't want to make this one mistake. Again, I have no idea what he's talking about.
Right.
I don't want this one mistake to start defining me in comedy, especially because that doesn't represent who I am. Okay. So I did not answer. Like, I'm sorry. Like, also, your material speaks for itself. You're not funny and you talk about domestic violence. That's enough for me to ban you from the mic, even without that other comic saying this to me. Mm-hmm. So, sorry, dude. You can go to other open mics. You're not welcome at mine. Mm-hmm. So I didn't answer that. I'm not going to entertain all this. Mm-hmm. So then, a week later, and I'm going to say the whole thing of this very quickly.
Okay.
So a week later of me not responding to him and closing this book, his true colors showed. You banned me from the mic because, quote, there have been multiple people who have voiced their concern about your behavior towards female comics, end quote. AKA, you heard a rumor and have no idea what you're talking about. You know good and well nobody made any complaints about me at my buddies. Why don't you stop pretending to be a progressive liberal and come out as the small-minded, bigoted, racist tool that you are? Acting like you're trying to create a safe space when really you're just trying to participate in a popularity contest. You have no integrity, and that's why that mic is trash, just like its host.
Okay.
I laughed after I read that.
That's so. First off, after dealing with him in our group message, not surprising at all.
Yeah, no.
Now,
so that's my experience.
Okay, I'm gonna play this audio for you.
Piste de resistance.
I think shut the fuck up, you fucking bitch. Aaron, you're a fucking hoe. I'll slap the shit out of you, you fucking black bitch. What's up?
So, he's been invited on Saturday. He's been invited on Saturday.
Oh.
That's the tip of the iceberg of it. It was a day of mayhem in that group message.
Yeah, mine was the tip of the iceberg above the water. Yours was that dark midnight navy blue color that is under the glacier.
Yeah.
Holy bajoli.
It's so what upsets me so much. It isn't the shit talking.
No.
It's not that. It is you are saying, not only to me, but to these other people in this message, there's a point where he says, I will fight anybody in Chicago in the comedy scene. You have fighters here right now.
Yeah.
Don't say this and be given the opportunity to do this and not follow through. We'll see if he shows up Saturday. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. And if he does, it would definitely be with like a weapon, which would be concerning because he doesn't seem stable. We found out, I don't know if you... We found out he has some legal shit going on.
It doesn't surprise me
right.
in the least. A comic has told me directly.
Now, because I don't want to make this all about him, I do want to transition to a concept.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious what your opinion is going to be because this concept is a little complicated. Yes, by all means, please partake.
Thank you. I need one after that.
Yeah. Two things. First thing is, I can tell you my philosophy of comedy, and we'll see if we're on the same page there. And if we disagree, I will happily listen. To me, when he's joking about domestic violence, or he's doing stand-up about that, I personally do not have an issue with any particular topic itself being discussed on stage. To me, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Absolutely.
Okay. It sounds like he was trying to be funny as an edgelord, and it wasn't working. All right. Well, it seems like we agree. I don't know.
I know there's no riveting debate here. I completely agree. A joke, if a joke is funny, and good, if it's that's why comedy is all about writing.
It's writing that line too. It's
all about writing and social awareness and self-awareness. It is a perfect blend of all of these things. And if you don't know how to perfectly blend and balance, then it's not funny. You're not a comic. You don't know what you're doing.
I'll even give this is this is me even giving a little more flexibility of someone who is new. Or if you're trying something new and it just doesn't work. This person is this is just who this person seems to be. And I think that's different. Now, this is a jumping off point of this situation. I'm not bringing this up to imply that he is innocent at all. But this concept of accusation without, for lack of a better word, proof from your end of things. Okay, in this situation, if there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah, but in general, how do you feel about that? How is that to be handled if someone is accused of something? You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah.
So whatever was done to that person, it's on them to do what they want. If they want
we talking about the victim or the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If like this comic who told me,
Yeah.
I want to respect them and whatever they want to do and whatever they decide to do with that. They trusted me to tell me that information. They don't feel safe at my mic. Okay, done.
Yeah.
Case closed. You don't feel safe? I'm not allowing this person to come in anymore. And it's not just because they were maybe creepily flirting, maybe said the wrong thing that was borderline creepy. No, action was done. I don't need proof because I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm not a manager. I'm not a this. I'm not a that. I am the host of an open mic.
Right.
And I need to make sure that people coming into this establishment and coming to my mic are safe to be around. Just like anyone would do if services were provided. A patron doesn't feel safe next to this next person wanting to have a drink. Bye-bye. You're gone. It's just case in point.
It's the boundary. It's the line. It is what it is.
It is what it is. So that's what I feel about it.
I think that's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
I guess we won't be arguing. Gosh darn.
I know.
That seems
Let's
reasonable.
look something else to argue about then.
I don't know.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
This has been an interesting one.
Oh yeah. This is fun.
Are you do you have anything else you wanted to talk about before I ask you the last question?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
It honestly felt good to talk about though.
Yeah. This situation?
Yeah. And just that whole thing in general. Cause I've had some blowback about, like, clearly I've had blowback about making those decisions, and it's made me question, whether or not I'm doing the right thing. Like, did I do the right thing? Am I being too cancel culture-y? Like, am I contributing to that? But I really don't think I am. I really do
Especially
think
not with this person.
I really do think that I have a good sense of judgment.
Yeah.
And it's all about protecting people in that space.
You know what? I have a hypothetical before we end with this.
Yeah.
Let's say there was not smoke to this fire. Let's say
That there were no other
accusations or anything like that, and you emailed him and he said, well, let's say he said something like, I disagree, this is not true. However, I will respect your space and I will leave it alone. Would that change your perception about it, or would you
No.
still interesting? Okay.
No, I would say, okay, good.
And then it is what it is.
And then it is what it is. And guess what? They can go to more mics and more shows. I did not end their career.
Yeah.
I'm not talking shit about them. I'm keeping it completely private up until now.
Yeah. I hear you.
But honestly,